That was Among Us, being played on PC. It's also available on phones. Give it a try. It is a lot of fun. And I'm joined now by Dan Thomas.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show, Dan. Dan's here to talk about a blog post which is going live tomorrow. If you're not familiar with Etch and the business briefings we do, so every week we do a business briefing about a specific industry. And every now and then we do a gaming one, which we obviously like to get involved with in the play team. And Dan's written this week's one, so I thought I'd have him on the show to talk about what he's written.
Yeah, so we'll just go through all the spoilers and
Yeah, don't even bother reading the blog. Just watch this, and then you got the gist of it.
I mean, reading. That's so last year, and it's all about the video now.
It's a tantalising tease of a blog that you'll be able to find on etchuk.com tomorrow.
There we go. Yes. So so we're talking games audiences, specifically how the kind of thoughts around engaging with games audiences. It's obviously a desirable proposition, and it was kind of inspired by some recent activities we talked about on the show last week. Was the Burger King campaign, which is a campaign ran by Burger King. I think it was orchestrated by Ogilvy, who have also previously done a slightly less well-received campaign. They're a huge marketing agency, so they've got different teams in different countries, kind of I guess the gist of what we're talking about is how to approach an audience and perhaps try and be genuine and be authentic in doing so. So I've got a few stats we can kick off with. Might be of interest. So
Sure. Yeah.
In the UK, 86% of 16 to 69-year-olds have played a video game in the last year. So 86% of people, I think, is a fair a fair way to cover that. And actually, of that, 54% play on most days. So
and all of that's Among Us.
yeah, 99% of that is playing Among Us in the past couple of weeks. So I guess the thoughts behind this post are: this is a big industry. We know that global audience, 2.7 billion people, spending $160 billion per year. So yes, there are a lot of interested parties taking a very keen interest in this sector, and it's not unusual to hear that, like, oh, how can we appeal to gamers? How can we get presence to gamers? And as we just discussed, it's kind of a bit of a disingenuous query, because gamers are just people, and to view them as a stereotype or a demographic is just becoming less and less relevant, because it's everyone. So yes, of course, how do we advertise our product to everyone? And yeah, kind of the worst thing that you can do is sit at your desk, do an hour of reading, go, oh, this is a big audience. Oh, they like memes. Here's a meme with our brand, and just throwing it out there, because that's really not going to be well received. It's not very effective. It's not very authentic. And yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because there's almost the word gamer has got multiple meanings, and I'm glad that we're discussing this on the internet, where no one will have any strong feelings about this other than us. But you know, gamers is an all-encapsulating term for lots of types of people nowadays. But there is also, and you talk about this in your blog, I've been fortunate enough to read it in advance. There are a subset of gamers who take that identity more seriously. They consider it part of their core identity, and they're maybe the ones that you have to not worry about as such, but you have to treat with a little bit more care, because they're a little bit more savvy, a little bit more stubborn. I mean, every news segment we have, we just talked then about Spider-Man's face and how that's upset people. They are as a demographic, it is, you know, potentially dynamite.
Absolutely, yeah, and it is a huge audience. It is an extremely passionate audience, and yeah, you don't want to get it wrong, and you don't want to make assumptions or go for the low hanging fruit, because you will get called out for those kind of behaviors. And like I say, gamer, there is a subset of game playing audience who describe themselves as gamers, and that means a lot to them. And equally, as you say, there are perhaps less desirable aspects of gamer culture, and you also you want to be mindful of that. And there are certain sub communities that you want to try and avoid, and certainly not. Certainly, I guess avoid the fiery conversations and opinions. People be familiar with topics such as Gamergate, and you really can't go wading into this arena without all of the information, all the understanding of these communities and these sub communities, and that's exactly what they are, because we are talking about a culture and subcultures, and you can't just treat it all with one broad brush. They say the term gamer is, I mean, many people in the industry kind of distance themselves from it. Many people who enjoy games distance themselves from it because you have the sub communities that are more toxic or more inflammatory, and it's such a broad spectrum that you just can't use a catch-all term gamer and have any value in that kind of audience that you're trying to describe.
Yeah, it means different things to different people, which is challenging. And I think one of the interesting things about the blog that you've written, and why I encourage people to check it out tomorrow, is that it's kind of about, the way that you navigate that successfully is with authenticity. It's about being genuine, because all types of gamers, whether they self-identify as a very specific type of gamer or if they just happen to be somebody who plays and enjoys games, they can recognise genuineness, they recognise realness in something that they're being sold, or an influencer that they're watching, or a story that a marketer is trying to share with them. They're quite savvy in that regard.
Absolutely, and I think you've kind of got to the real purpose of, if you want to have a presence within this sector, you do not go in with the mindset of, how do I get the attention of gamers? That's not the approach. What you need to go in is say, how can I contribute value to this community? And you need to understand what you mean by this community. What is the subset that you're targeting, and what are who are the influencers? What are the likes? What are the hot topics? What are the things to avoid? And it is actually about becoming a part of that community, and not just treating them as an audience to bump your numbers up, but you've got to offer genuine value, because they will, as with any community and any audience, they will be receptive to new entities that offer genuine value. So we talk a lot about KFC, who have done a really good job at engaging with that, because they've become a part of it, and they've given genuine value and entertainment, which is it's a huge consideration to the audience. Is this entertaining, or is this a cash grab? Entertain me, that's fine. You can that's of value to me. If I feel I'm being exploited or leveraged, no way, I'm going to back out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you say. I mean, people think about, sometimes there's a trap of thinking that marketing is exclusively a one-way thing, that it's something that companies want to do and that people don't enjoy at all. But actually, especially in a space like games where there's so much passion for the product, people who play games do like discovering a new game that they really enjoy. They do like discovering a great accessory that they would want to buy. Like they're actually quite open to that. It's just about how you pitch it, but it's about tone of voice, and it's about authenticity, like you say. And I think your blog's really good at articulating some of that, and I definitely encourage people to read it. Do you have any more stats or snippets you wanted to share?
I think
as a tease.
No, I think kind of what we're saying about authenticity. It's actually, and going all the way back to what we were saying about at the beginning, that 86% of people have played a game in the last year, 54% most days. There's a very good chance that your team, your company, your business is made up of gamers or games players. You don't need to force this. And actually, when you're trying to be authentic and you're trying to add value, look, you don't need to pretend, because there will be people who are genuinely interested, and you can use those people, and that will make their job more interesting, and they'll be more enthusiastic and more passionate, and it will feel more real. I think if you're thinking, I need to get in front of these audiences, I don't really care about this, it's probably not not the campaign for you, and you want to look around the organization and look for people who are who are already in that space, and there will be people, because as we said, kind of we're talking about a significant proportion of people are part of this target audience.
Yeah. And if you want to read that blog, like I say, it goes live tomorrow, etchuk.com. It'll be on the homepage somewhere, probably, right?
I'm sure it will.
Sounds like the sort of thing we would do. But yeah,
it's great. It's great when they let us loose on the all-important business briefing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, come back tomorrow, etchuk.com. Check out that blog. Let us know your thoughts. And I think that brings us to the end of the show. Thanks for joining me, Dan.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
That's okay. And thanks to Ben Joy for his insights on the news earlier. That's it for another week. We'll be back next week. If you like the show, please remember to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, or follow if you are watching live on Twitch. Live fans are my favourite. You guys are the best. People who watch on YouTube,
yes.
You're alright, but come check it out live. It's more fun live.
Validate us.
Yeah, validate us. So yeah, come on back. Make sure you're subscribed in whatever form you feel comfortable with, and we will see you next Thursday at 4 PM for the XPlay Weekly Live Show. I'll tell you what I'll do, as Dan liked so much, I'll play us out with the beats from the beginning of the stream. You remember?
Nice. Very good.
We'll see you guys next time.